Hello, it's time to bake. Okay, so got my cool sourdough shirt on, but I'm not making sourdough today. I am making a tart, and I'm gonna use some fresh berries and some lemon, and we're gonna make a great tart. But the first thing that we have to do is get our crust done. So we're gonna go ahead and press in this crust, and you can use any tart crust recipe. This is the one that's in my class. It's on school, and I'll drop the link to it below. But it's just super easy. It's just a short crust. It's fantastic to work with. And you're just gonna press it in and go around. So once we have this all pressed in, we're gonna pop this into the oven while we make the filling. And the filling is very easy as well, but the presentation is beautiful. So that's what we want. And I'm making this for my husband to bring into the office tomorrow. Because I usually send in breads, but I think they're gonna get sick of my bread. And since I have to do this for my class, I figured it would be a good bonus for someone else to eat it, since I don't eat sweets, and my husband tries not to as well. Every once in a while he has something sweet. But I'm actually making them, making my family a sugar-free lemon filling, so they can have something. We're just gonna go in. So I do around the sides first, and then I go into the center. Some people do it the opposite. You kind of gotta go with what you feel, but this makes more sense to me, because then I get my sides, I make sure that they're all firmed up. And then I press in the bottom. And you will see I come back with some paper, some plastic wrap to smooth it out. And I use a commercial plastic wrap. It's called polyfilm. You can get it at BJ's or Restaurant Depot or any of the Costco. I don't love Costco's, honestly, but it's better than what you get at the grocery store. So polyfilm is the way to go. So we're just gonna keep on pressing this in there. And then it's gonna bake for about maybe 20 minutes or so till it's a little bit more on the brown side. And then we're gonna fill it and we're gonna rebake it. So it bakes twice. But that is how you get a nice under crust, so you don't get that kind of gummy crust. And I do the same thing with pies. You don't want a gummy crust, it's disgusting. And if you're gonna go through all the trouble to make a beautiful butter crust, you want it, that's what you want it to taste like, not mush. Okay, so now we're gonna smooth this all out. All right, so I'm gonna lay this plastic wrap over the top. I'm just gonna use my hand, and you're just gonna come across and run your hand around it. So the friction from your hand, along with the plastic wrap, is gonna smooth out all those edges, so that you have a nice, even crust. There we go. So now I have a nice, evenly crust. I'm gonna pop that into the oven. This is the lemon tart mixture that I made that's sugar-free. I'm gonna put that in the oven as well. Here, we're gonna put this up top. We'll set that timer for 10 minutes and we'll check it then. In the meantime, we'll make the filling. So this time of year is a great time of year where berries are starting to come out, and we like to take advantage of things that are in season. So we're gonna start with 1 can of condensed milk, not the fat-free kind, you want the full fat one for this. I'm gonna pop the top off of that one. Now you will see this is kind of similar to like key lime pie. I'll let that sort of do its thing here. Help it along a little bit. And then we're going to use the juice of 2 whole lemons. Split those up. And we're going to use the lemon zest of 1 lemon. Give it a good squeeze. And I always have a garbage bowl next, close by, so we can just put all the scraps in there. And then I compost them. All right, let me see. I got my little zhuzher. That's what I call this thing. It's really a microplane, but I call it a zhuzher because, I don't know, that's what I call it. I don't know how it happened, but I got a seed in there, so I'm gonna take it out. All right, so let's do this other lemon because I like it to have a good little lemony flavor. So we'll pop that in here and we'll give it a good squish. There we go. And then we are going to get ourselves 4 egg yolks. And of course I will save the whites. Eggs are so pricey right now. We want to get the best use out of them. And I do like a good egg white omelet. So we'll need 2 bowls. And we'll just use these little plastic babies. They have lids so that I can put the whites back. All right, so what I normally do, I crack the whole egg into the bowl, just like that. And then I extract the yolk out so that nothing breaks, or as close to nothing as we can get. All right, these eggs are super fresh, so you gotta be gentle when you crack them because it comes flying out at you. We'll scoop that yolk out. The other thing about farm eggs is that they're all sort of irregular in shape. So some have big yolks, some have smaller yolks, so you kind of have to adjust for that. If you find that you have a lot of small yolks, you might need more, one more egg. But I think I'm doing okay here. See how much smaller this one is to this one? So you just kind of got to watch it. I think I'm still good though. All right, so now we have our 4 yolks. I'm gonna go wash my hands for a second. Now I'll get my whisk. And then the yolks go right in with the lemon juice and the condensed milk. And the white we set aside. Now we're just gonna whisk and whisk and whisk. And that is our lemon filling, which is perfect. All right, so let's put these away. Side. And since we have a little extra time, since we're waiting for our crust, I am going to go ahead and cook some of the frozen strawberries down so we can use some of those as well. So get those out. These are frozen strawberries that I got at the market. I think it was like last week maybe, or the week before. But what I do is I cut them and I freeze them so I can take out just what I need. And then I cook them down and I use them in the tart. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to get a bowl. We'll get hot. I'll get my strawberries ready. We don't need too many. I'll put a couple with that because we have this lemon filling, right? So we don't need a whole lot, but we do need some. And I'm going to put them right on the stove to cook. And it won't take long. I put them on about medium high. I'm gonna grab some sugar. Maybe. I have to find them. The sugar's right behind me actually. Believe it or not, I had to go down the street to the gas station to get sugar because I ran out of sugar. What kind of baker runs out of sugar? I just don't know. But I did. Okay. So I'm only going to take a 1/4 cup of sugar and sprinkle it over these frozen strawberries. Just like that. And then I'm going to take a little dash of water. just about maybe a tablespoon and add that in there as well. And then we're just gonna let them cook down. I also have a little tri-pack, these are not local, but these are from the grocery store, of blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. So I thought it'd be really great to incorporate that in with the lemon as well. So once that crust is happy, it's getting there, then we'll go ahead and add that lemon filling and add the berries to that. But it's very important that your crust is done. Yeah, you can't rush it, unfortunately. It's just kind of the way it goes. And because I don't like to waste time, and I don't want you just sitting around waiting for me forever, we'll do something with these egg whites. Let me put this aside. Let's do like this. This bad boy down here. Ding ding. Alright, gotta turn this around for a second. And we're gonna put a little bit of butter in there. You know, everything's better with butter. Towel. I got some flour in there. And that doesn't make it very yummy. Okay. Go ahead and put our butter in to start this. Our strawberries are coming along nicely. Okay, once that butter melts, I'm going to add the egg whites. Put a little salt in the bottom, a little pepper. Good, and then we'll just get that all in there. Nice, and we'll take this egg whites. There's a tiny little bit of yolk in there, but that's no harm. I'm going to put that right in there. Make sure that's not a piece of shell. We're just going to let that do its thing. I'm going to add a little more salt to the top of this. And a little more pepper. Because when I cook, I don't like anything to go to waste. So we're not going to waste it. We're going to go ahead and let it do its thing here. All those strawberries are cooking. And our tart shell is baking. I like to do things when I'm live. I like to do them real time. Hello, everybody. Because I think it's important that you see that it doesn't take very long. It's pretty quick. All right, so you gotta kind of gauge where you're at with this thing. But take a look in here. It's been 10 minutes. We're looking good. Only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a fork. And I'll show you. It's got a little bubble here. I'm just going to prick those bubbles down. And we're going to put it back in for another 5 minutes, and then it should be ready to fill. Okay. So let's move this aside. And then I just start to move the whites in. Let all the liquidy egg come to the outside and center. We don't have any mushy parts. Cover that back up. Take a look at our strawberries. So our strawberries are getting nice and bubbly. I see that. We'll get a different spatula. And I'm just gonna mush them down a little. We're getting nice and syrupy. And now our egg whites are nice and puffy. So we're gonna give them a little flip. Flip it over like that, mush it down. One thing about egg whites, I don't want anything that's wet. Yuck. No wet egg whites. And now for the important part. Yes, we're baking, but if I'm going to have a snack, I might as well have a snack. We have a little cheese. And we'll give it a little fold. We'll turn off the heat. We'll cover it up. We'll let that cheese melt. Good snack. All right, so our lemon filling is nice and full. It's getting nice and thick. Our strawberries are cooking down. Our crust is coming along. We're gonna pull this all together here in a minute. All right, let me take that off the heat. We'll put this guy back. This is so handy to have because you can move it anywhere. Okay, let's move this aside. Strawberries are almost done. You just have to keep stirring them because they get real saucy. You can see that, but they get really like a syrup almost. So I just take the back of my spoon and mush them down a little bit. And we'll just put them back on to cook some more. Because we want that to get nice and soft so that when we mix it with the lemon, it's not running all over the place. Give a little cleanup here. 5 minutes when you're live seems like forever. Forever and ever. But it's worth it because we're going to make this lemon berry tart and you are going to love it. Love it, love it. If you've not seen these removable tart pans, that's what I'm using. So this is a longer one, but the bottom comes out. So when the tart's done, you just need to pop it out. It's great for presentation. All right, let's check on this bugger. Yeah, still a little longer here. Bump up the heat to 400. Get a little more color on that thing. Because the lemon filling bakes down really fast. And if the crust is not completely done on the bottom, again, it's going to get very mushy, and we really, really want to avoid that. We want it to be completely done. So, you know, we just have to wait. I'm going to tap out this lemon filling. I'm going to mush down these strawberries. You see, I'm just mushing them into that hot syrup. And when that syrup cools, it'll be nice and thick. All right, I'm gonna set that to cool. Over here. And then we have to decide what kind of berries do we want in here. So if anybody has a preference, you let me know in the comments. All right, let's check out our crust, see how we're doing. Checking these lemons, they look good. A little loose, but this timer's so obnoxious. All right, we're still gonna leave it just a few more minutes. I wish it would be done, but it's not done yet. We're gonna get there. So let me show you, I did some lemon, it's lemon custard really, it's not even a lemon tart at this point, but they're sugar free. So it's heavy cream mixed with allulose. I cook it down until it's nice and thick like condensed milk. Then I added the lemon juice and I added the 4 egg yolks. I whisked it together and I'm baking it. So at the end we'll have a sugar-free lemon custard and it's delicious. All right. My instincts want me to rush it along because I want to show you, but at the same time, I don't want to ruin it. All right, we are done-ish enough. Get a different pan, put it underneath it. Now, if I was going to do this for a beautiful presentation, I would bake this a little bit more until it was a little bit darker, and then I would remove the pan, remove the tart pan altogether. But I don't want to take that long, so we're just going to do it this way. But trust me, that makes it easier. All right, so first we're going to pour this lemon right into here. Right in there. And now we just want to spread it out evenly. Then we're going to add our berries. So we'll go kind of blackberry, blackberry, blackberry. Blackberry, and then we'll do a little roll of raspberry. I like the differentiation of color. And then we'll do some blueberries in between. And in between here. And then we're going to finish it off with the strawberries in the center. One more over here. Go back. All right. Grab us some of the strawberries. Now the strawberries are going to be a little juicy because we cooked them in that sugar syrup, but that is a-okay because they will fix themselves in the oven. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and bake this back in the oven until that lemon filling is set. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bake it and then I'm gonna come back and show you a picture of what it looks like so you're not having to hang with me the whole time, and I'm gonna go eat my egg white omelet. All right, thank you for hanging with me. I hope I've given you some good tips. And if you watch the replay, please give me a hashtag replay. And if you watched it live, a hashtag live. The more that you comment, the more that you interact with me, the more people that get to see it. And if you like my shirt, I will leave a link to the shirt below as well as to the pans that I used. Have a blessed day.